That's right. Leading the league right now, our man J.P. Morosi, as he is back once again.
All right. There's been news since JP was on?
Well, he's got some news around Jurickson Profar, if I'm not mistaken, right, JP?
What?
Well, Jurickson Profar, I'll say this, guys. First of all, the last segment is a tough act to follow indeed. I'm still a little bit stunned that we did not hear a line from For Love of the Game, one of my all-time favorite movies there, with Joe Stroud being one of the characters. But at any rate, here we go, Jurickson Profar. I think for him, he's probably the top bat still available now on the free agent market. And I would say that there's a group of teams who have been talking with the Pirates about Bryan Reynolds. And that same general group is also keeping tabs, I am told, on Jurickson Profar. That would include the Yankees, the Marlins, potentially the Rangers as well. The Red Sox were mentioned by Bob Nightingale as being a possibility for Profar, but that was, of course, before they signed Adam Duvall, who seems to have satisfied that need for one more bat in the Boston Red Sox lineup. I do think Profar, you think of his versatility, he's probably most likely to be a left fielder wherever he goes. And I would say the Marlins, who we know, certainly one topic we'll get to in a moment here, the Marlins among the most aggressive teams overall right now, both in the trade market and in free agency as well.
So, JP, what kind of money is Profar looking at? Because we know Bryan Reynolds turned down $70 million already, and he's looking at comps of Nimmo and guys like that are making $160 million. So I'm curious, where does Profar's finances land, do you think?
Harold, that's a great question. I do think at this stage that based on the way the market has unfolded, I think he maybe was asking a bit more aggressively than where the teams were comfortable paying early on, both in the years and the dollars. I would say right now, based on where we're at in the free agent market, that a creatively structured deal that ends up being one of those shorter-term, higher AAV deals would make the most sense for Profar at the moment. And whether that is 15 times 2, something along those lines, I could see a team getting comfortable in that range, but I do not see him getting close to what Nimmo got. I just don't think there's been quite that same level of durability year over year. But then again, Nimmo's agent, Profar's agent, the same person, Scott Boras, so he would have a pretty good understanding of the teams that did not get Nimmo and where their willingness was to pay, and perhaps that information is going to be useful in discerning where Profar's market's going to go.
Curious what you think, JP, and Aroldis Chapman, because his market has really fallen down. Obviously, is no longer the elite guy, but you got to think someone will take a flyer on him. You're hearing the Marlins could be interested?
Yeah, that to me is a really interesting idea. The fact that the Marlins, and our John Heyman's reported on this, they do want to add some bullpen. Chapman, of course, makes his offseason home in South Florida, and his market, to your point, has been diminished. The way things ended in New York this past season, with him not being there during the playoffs, the tattoo-related injury list stay in the second half, perhaps not the way one would want to end his platform season. And obviously there were more walks, more higher ERA than you'd typically see from Chapman. I think that for me, the question for the Marlins and other teams will be, how motivated is he? How much does he want to pitch, and for how many more years? And what does that translate into in terms of his overall conditioning and preparedness? And also, very importantly, is he still going to be a closer? And do you have to give him a closer's role to make sure that the deal makes sense? That to me is a huge question. The way that he pitched last season, you would say he is not, right now, based on his performance, one of the top 30 closers in the game. That there's not, based on the merits of his performance, a job for him that is set, you're going to be the ninth inning guy. I think he's going to have to come around to the idea that he's going to have to compete for a late inning spot. And more than likely, he is a clean inning type of a guy, meaning he has to come in at the start of an inning. You're not going to want him to come in with runners on second and third and one out, needing a punch out, because the walk rate's been so high for him, and we've seen him struggle at Yankee Stadium in moments like that. So for me, he's probably just an option as a part-time closer until he proves otherwise, and that place to prove it might well be the Miami Marlins.
So we're willing to take flyers on hitters for $10 million, $17 million, $36 million. Seriously.
Yeah, Joey Gallo's getting $10 million. Yep.
And we're taking a flyer on. Bellinger's going to come back.
Conforto, yep.
17-some million. Conforto, $36 million. And nobody wants to take a flyer on Chapman for a year. I just think that's strange to me. I got to take my flyer. If I land him, I got a guy that's got postseason experience, and that changes my whole direction of my team. I don't see the struggle.
Right, and Harold, remember, he would be, if things go well from a standpoint of his first half, he would be someone that you would look at as a possible trade candidate at midseason. Again, he has been inconsistent, to say the very least, and yet, to your point, the ability is there, and he has had some great all-star seasons in the past.
That's just my take.
I hear you.
All right, guys, I shook you up with that. Wow.
I'm just saying it was a bad year. Like, there's sometimes the guys in the clan, that was a bad year all the way around, right? They want to bring him back. He didn't want to be there. Like, it's to JP's point, I do like the trade bait angle, but I just don't think I'm investing a lot. But 1 year, okay. We'll see. JP's always a
I'll
long-term
take a flyer.
guy. All right, you take your flyer. JP, we say thank you.
I take a flyer on JP every day.
Grazie mille. Thank you.